I have looked at, because I did my postdoc at Johns Hopkins, I looked at some of the Western models wherein professors are using their research opportunity in an academia as for the R&D work. So the research lab is churning out new technologies and problem statements, and that is one strength of MAHE being a comprehensive university, right? And second thing is, we do have a policy, but I do see that are there any Indian good experience that from your vast experience that you have seen that academicians have transferred into saying that okay, my main scaling up will be through through the entrepreneurial venture, and then I will hold on to my research in such reputed universities to continue the R&D now, because as you rightly said, we need to keep innovating, right? We need to really look at where we are to pivot. And being an academician, the biggest advantage, though Youngblood example that he gave, but the one advantage that we have is we have the experience, we have the connects, and moreover, being an academician, we can apply for grants that are going to de-risk and startup. That's how, so that our R&D expenses are not from the venture investments that are going in. So how do you see this, and have you seen an Indian example that is more like the Western model, that, or how do we adapt from those learnings?
Okay, so let me give a different perspective to this, which could be a trigger point of to your thought in this direction. The startups that we have seen are all, as you said, most of them, not all, most of them are by the people who are in their maybe 20s and 30s, right? 25 to 35 is the average age. When they start a startup, what do they do first? They look at people who've got experience in the industry. And when they look at people who've got experience in the industry, they would look at experienced people in finance, marketing, operations, maybe research, maybe innovation, maybe latest technology. The highest and in demand for last 10 years in India is all techies, right? Whosoever has done BTech is in demand, because that's how technology is growing, right? So what do they do is, they have got an idea, but they do not have an experience. That is what they staff for. The opportunity with us is, we have got the experience, we've got absolute amazing deliveries also basis our experience in all the researches that we have done. So that's an amazing plus, right? What we essentially need is two things. One, rightly said, technology. If we can look at maybe using shared technologies, which is where some incubators like MAHE and others help, having maybe giving some platform infrastructure wise, giving some platform technology wise. If we can use that with our experience, then the second thing that we need is, beyond our domain, technology is important. Beyond technology, what is important is all the support functions. If we can look at having those support functions fit in well, there is a success formula out there.
Very good.
Now, how do we implement that is an art which we as an entrepreneurs would need, right? So if you want to start that, you as an entrepreneur would need to build that art your own self, to say, now I've got 20 resources, how do I put them into motion with whatever limited time I spare? Let's say you spare 4 hours a day. Within 4 hours, what resource to use when? What should follow the other is important. If you can structure that process well, I think it's a strategy in motion. Now, in terms of your question of people doing it, yes, there are people who have done it successfully. Few of the edtech examples, and we've seen a lot of Byju's and White Hat Juniors of the world.
Right.
Few of the edtech examples are people who have come right from the education industry, and they had knack for technology, or they had someone who had knack for technology and brainstormed to figure out a new formula of dissemination of education or expansion of that work through technologies using satellite classes and all of that, and those have been really successful, right? So that formula definitely exists, and there are live examples. From a research side of house, which is what you specialized in, probably I would have little less experience working with those kind of professionals, but in general, academicians coming to fore in terms of entrepreneurship, amazing examples and a lot of successful ones.